6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Shooting the Shit Uncensored. It is me, the dad bod god himself, the bald, the beard, the beautiful Piers Austin, and we are brought to you live by the MWA Podcast Network. Tonight, my guest is the boss, the commissioner, the man of Elite Wrestling Australia, Mr. Osama Hussein, and I'm going to bring out Osama in just a few minutes. But guys, before we get started, I want to take a quick pause to thank some of those amazing sponsors and help us keep the lights on up in the Austin household. First up is Sleefs.com. That's SLEEFS, Sleefs.com, your one-stop shop for all your athletic wear. Guys, they've got armbands, compression pants, compression shorts, socks, headbands, knee guards, mouth guards, boots. They've even got dirty boxes, and I've told you about these dirty boxes, guys. They are so damn comfortable. They've got funky designs on them. You got to go and check them out. But guys, when you're checking out Sleeves and you're buying those dirty boxes, use promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount on your final purchase. Sorry, just had to take a quick sip of water. But next up is healthvape.com, ladies and gentlemen. Health Vape is your healthy vaping alternative. All of their products are no nicotine, no addictive or harmful chemicals, and they're vitamin infused. So guys, they're like vaping a Red Bull. So go and check them out. Use that promo code MWAPOD to also get a 10% discount on your final purchase. And guys, wherever you were checking out the MWA Podcast Network, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, hit that like, give us a 5-star review and all that goodness wherever you're finding us. As long as you're finding us, we are glad you are here. But guys, we have shows for you 7 days a week. We are non-stop, so make sure you do check out everything we have to offer. But without further ado, I'm going to bring out my guest for this evening. He is the boss of Elite Wrestling Australia, Mr. Osama Hussein. Osama, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Piers. I really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. I hope the family's well.
Family's good, man. Family's good. How's everything been going on your neck of the woods, brother?
Yeah, man, look, getting there, I guess, especially with COVID, things are just, trying to settle back in, but in other words, man, works really well. Family's good, we're above ground. Any day above ground is a good day, man.
100%, man, 100%, dude. And yeah, man, look, it's the best way to look at it, like I think coming off like the last 2 years of in and out of lockdowns and pretty much being like everyone being segregated from each other and just being like removed. I think it's like it puts things into such a different perspective as well, man. Like, we'll talk, and we both have kids, man. Like I got young kids that have spent like a majority of their life in lockdown, you know what I mean? Which is wild to think about it,
It is, man. It is. It's crazy because, when it first kind of happened, I'm like, it can't be that serious. It's just a virus. But when the whole world shuts down, the whole entire world shut down, something serious is happening.
Yeah.
So like you said, your kids majority of their life in lockdown, they haven't experienced holidays, they haven't experienced, other places. And in
100%.
saying that, man, it's kind of good to get back, to normal a little, and
Yeah.
in saying that, man, that's why I've got a show coming up. I've trying to kick COVID in the ass and show them that who's boss, I guess.
So let's talk about that show, Osama, like Elite Wrestling Australia.
Mhm.
Um, how did the concept come about? What are you actually looking to achieve here? Is this a one and done type of deal show? Is this a new hot promotion that is going to put Australian wrestling on notice? What is this that's happening?
Okay, so I've been a diehard fan since I was a baby, man. Ever since I watched Hulk Hogan rip his thing lit off, it got me glued. Um, I've been wrestling actively for the last, I'd say, 16 years, give or take. Um, Now, in saying that, man, I'm not the biggest name. I'm not the biggest draw. I'm not the best wrestler. But in saying that, man, I love wrestling. I love nothing fulfills me more than going out and performing for kids, women, men, the oldies, people that pay their money to come and watch me wrestle. Again, I might not be the flashiest or the most, but I love it. I give my body to it. I give my passion, my sweat. So growing up, man, it's like I said, my brothers are four. I got four older brothers and a younger sister,
Yeah.
but my brothers taught me everything about wrestling that I needed to know to get me invested into it.
Yeah.
So, come fast forward, I think it was 2004. I met. I don't want to drop names.
No,
So
okay, drop
I kind of met somebody at a soccer indoor soccer, and he was just talking to me about wrestling, and then I was invested. And he goes, like, "Where you from?" I go, "I'm from the Bankstown area." He was like, "Okay, I've got a show coming up. Come down." I was like, "Okay." I wanted to become a wrestler. How do I do that? So he got me into it, introduced me to somebody. So met a young crop of guys. This is around the 2004 mark. And 2005, we had our first show,
Wow.
which was at the Bankstown PCYC. And ever since then, man, I've been traveling all around, Australia, wrestling for different promotions. Again, met wonderful people. I've met, the best wrestlers you can think of. I've met legends. So I kind of had to semi-retire due to neck injury. I had
Mhm.
surgery 2 years ago. So this was just before the COVID hit. I did my last show and then I just retired from there. So I've been booking for other promotions, and I kind of wanted to go my own way. So I left that promotion and built up this promotion. I've got a good bunch of guys behind me, helping me, um, guiding me, kind of thing. So I want to get EWA on the map. I want to get EWA talking. I want people to know who we are. I want people to know who we have. So my vision is I want to get the best wrestlers in Australian wrestling onto my show. Because wherever you go, man, and anybody can tell you this, Piers, bullshit aside, man, every company have their own crop of guys.
Yeah,
You know
I'd
what I
agree.
mean? They have their own clique, so to speak. Now, in saying that, man, I don't want that. I don't want any of that. You know what I mean? I want my company to succeed everything possible that I throw at it, and I want the best of the elite to come onto my show and wrestle for me. And my vision, that's, you know, how do I put this to you, man? I want to be able to get TV rights. I want to be able to get, you know, all of that. And I'm not talking I want to be a Vince McMahon or, you know, Eric Bischoff. You know, I'm not talking that advanced, but I'm just talking
Sure.
Australia on the map. I want people talking, because in my community, man, people love wrestling, but they don't know that it exists.
Yeah.
Right? I'm from a Lebanese background. Okay. And a lot of Lebanese people don't know that wrestling exists here in Australia. And I'm talking a chunk of them. So
But
when they find out,
I'd even say more than just like the Lebanese community, though. I'd say like a majority of the like the Australian community of all.
It's, you know, but I'm only speaking on, you know,
Sure.
my, you know, my background, my heritage,
Sure.
you know, people that I know. And when people find out that I'm a wrestler, they're like, oh, no way, you know, when's your next show? And so this next show, man, it's gonna go all out. I'm, you know, if people haven't seen our Facebook page, not sure if you can display it or not, but it is Elite Wrestling Australia, EWA. If people want to click on and kind of see who we have, I do have a big signing that's going to happen tonight. I do have breaking news. I have signed a big name that will appear on my show, and not sure if, you know what, why don't we break it to him here?
Sure. Why don't you tell us who it is?
I've got him here.
Let's bring him in.
You want to give me a sec?
Sure. Let's go for
All
it.
right. Give me 1 second.
While Osama goes and gets his latest signee to EWA, let's just take a quick second, guys, to make sure that you go and check out our sponsors, healthvape.com. Use promo code MWAPod and get a 10% discount there. Also, check out sleefs.com. That's SLEEFS, sleefs.com. And use promo code MWAPod to get a 10% discount. You know, let's have a look who we got in the house right now while we're waiting for Osama to come back. We got Kyle Ead in the house. What's up, Kyle? We got Omar. Hey, Omar. We got Lubna as well. Hello, Lubna. And guys, you know, thank you everyone for tuning in live. Guys, let's see those comments coming in. But we are about to see the latest signee of EWA. And Osama is back. And Osama, let's see who you got, man. Who's your boy?
Okay, this gentleman here. Look, I've always wanted this guy on any show that I've put. He is one of the best wrestlers Australia has to offer. I've got none other than Tyson Gibbs.
Tyson Gibbs. That is quite the signing. Welcome, Tyson Gibbs, to Shooting the Shit Uncensored.
Give me a hell of a rap, didn't he?
I'm just surprised to see you, mate. I haven't seen you for quite a while. Welcome to Shooting the Shit Uncensored. It's an honor to have you on here. How did you get involved with EWA?
I honestly, I've missed pro wrestling for a very long time. I feel like it's been the best part of a decade since I've been regularly involved. And honestly, the phone rang yesterday and we talked, and I was already in that mindset of getting ready and getting back into it. And he gave me a little rundown of what we're going to be doing here with EWA, and it sounds exactly like what I'm looking to do. So we're going to tear it up.
Mate, that is a huge signee, and I think someone with your experience as well coming in there is definitely going to be looked at as a locker room leader and someone who's going to be able to take this company to the next level. From everything that has been explained to you, do you think that this can be a company that's different? I mean, we've all heard promoters say, and this is not an insult to Osama or any promoter, but we've all heard promoters say, my thing is going to be the next big thing. You know, what's your take on EWA?
I think that if you don't want to be the next big thing, then don't bother starting, don't bother trying, you know. And you know, we've the chat we had yesterday, the chat we've had today, we've been hanging out a bit and talking about where we want to go with everything. And The roster that he's putting together is solid. It's a bunch of people that either I have loved working with in the past or want to work with in the future. And basically, he wants to put together like the best of both worlds. Where we know why you're a fan of wrestling. You know what you love about wrestling. You know what works. But we also all enjoy the innovation. We enjoy pushing new boundaries. We enjoy sort of pushing taboos and breaking new barriers. I think it's going to be the best of both those worlds. I really do.
Definitely sounds it. And Osama, Tyson Gibbs being someone to bring into your company, as I said, major signee, major great addition to any company, especially in the Australian wrestling scene. And as he said, being 10 years out, but like, what is the plan for EWA? Do you guys have like set shows that you want to be able to have? Like, you want to say, okay, for the next 12 months, we want to run a show a month, a show every 2 months. What are you looking at to do for actual run plan for EWA?
Okay, so going back to what you said about no offense, but every promoter wants to, for me, I want to get there. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to do everything in my power to get there. I won't know until I try. So in saying that, man, we're putting on 4 shows a year just for this year because I just want to be able to put on one show, have people talk, and have people want to come to the next. So I want to build that up, and with the gentleman next to me, signing him over to us, I think it's 5 steps ahead.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I think that from talking about what you guys have planned, I think starting off with 4 shows is probably a realistic good goal to put out 4 quality shows than try and run every single month just to put out a show. I think putting out quality is probably better than quantity at this stage.
100%, and a lot of companies, they try to fill, and I've seen a few other companies kind of cancel shows due to COVID.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put that, strain on us. So one show every 3 months, I believe is a good way to start. And if God forbid if things were to happen, kind of work around it, instead of straining myself with one a month.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you mentioned being from the Bankstown area and your community being very important to you. Are you going to be running shows within that Bankstown community, like to start off with? Do you plan on expanding out of there, or like what's the thought pattern for locations?
Okay, for locations, man, I've spoken to the higher ups as well. We do want to expand, not just obviously because our show at the moment is in Campsie.
Mm-hmm.
So I've run shows before at Bankstown, and I've drew a lot of people for those shows. So realistically is I want to be able to go to every so the suburbs and different suburbs, and trying to put on shows where people can come in and just know who we are.
Yeah. And putting it out there to different audiences and so forth for promotional wise as well. And it's, I think also areas that don't usually get wrestling as well is another high spot of doing it as well, because you got to give people, as you said before, people who don't know about Australian wrestling, like from your community, but also other communities seeing it and going, well, hang on a second, let's go check this out.
100%. Like I debuted in Bankstown PCYC in 2005. I retired in Bankstown PCYC in 2000. I think it was 20. Okay, so big stretch there. But when I did my show on my retirement, I drew 150 people, but that's just word of mouth. I didn't promote. I didn't advertise. I didn't do any of that. I just pretty much word of mouth with the community. and I drew 150 people. For a Sydney show, man, that's pretty decent.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Like even like there's promotions that I've seen that don't even get close to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's with all the online promotion and everything. But
And we've been there, I'm sure you've wrestled in front of 5-6 people. I have.
One of my favorite events is like 40 people in Bathurst Uni. It's like Charles Sturt University, off its head, tiny crowd, but that's the joy of the indies, right? The crowd.
But you know what? Like you talk. I've spoken to some wrestlers, and they say like some of their best matches they've ever had in their careers have been in front of like 10 people or like 20 people.
Gives you freedom to like really let loose, I think. And
it's pretty much,
if it doesn't work out, nobody saw it.
That's right.
So Osama, like you mentioned before, you met someone and you had the conversation about wrestling and then started training. Who was your actual trainer when you broke into the business?
All right. I met a gentleman called Joe Zappia. I'm not sure if you remember that.
I've heard the name. I don't know if I ever met the bloke.
I think he was the Don, the Italian Don.
I feel like he may have.
Bald-headed dude.
I feel like someone like Mark Mercedes or someone would be a better person.
Yes, 100%. So I met him at the indoor soccer, and then he put on a show at the Bankstown PCYC. I don't know if you remember, but there was a couple of young Arab guys as well. The name was Habib or something. I'm talking about years ago. I don't remember, but then I met Cole, CJ Owen.
Yep.
Okay, so not sure if some of the guys would remember, but I started off with Mikey Lord, and a few other names. Mikey and I are kind of the only last two from that crop of young talent still doing it.
Yeah.
So, we met CJ Owen Cole, and he kind of took us under his wings, and, he showed us. The guy was so good to us. He put on shows for us, for us to, create our own identities. And yeah, just ever since then, man, we just kind of expanded, and, we went to different companies after that. And that's how
did the first few shows go? Like, putting a show on for you to basically like get your feet wet, really, right?
I remember my very first show was the Bankstown PCYC. We drew decent. It was a very good show. We were young. Our very first show, all of us. Daunting, it's not like we got legends and stuff to be on the show. It was just all young.
Yeah.
And then my second show we did, I think it was a Rumble in Canberra. And that Rumble is what kind of cemented us, because they picked 5 of us to be special entrants in that Rumble. And each one of us did an absolute cracker job. And they had people talking. So
and I think it was probably tougher to find places to work back in those days too. Like we're talking 10 to 15
years, yeah.
There's a lot more going on now. There's a lot more sort of opportunities. So when you found something like that, you had to
take it,
throw your ass into it.
Man, I remember back in like early 2000s, like with Australian wrestling, like you had your IWA guys, you had your AWF guys. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't really any guys going and cross to other promotions. Like you just didn't see it. It was like, all right, you were trained by
to speak.
You know what I mean? Like this is who you were trained by, this is where you work. As simple as that. Right. You know what I mean? And it's crazy now that like the scene has become such more open where like performers can go and work for other shows, which is good for obviously, new companies coming up like EWA, where they can bring in some name talent like a Tyson Gibbs and some other names as well, because you're bringing that fan base in and seeing what you guys do with them. And I think that's the different part of it, where I think a lot of people say, especially with indie wrestling, whether it's like, oh, but yeah, this company books every indie wrestler over in the US or here or wherever it might be. But I think it's up to the company what they do with them. Yes, they're booking the same talent, but it's like you can put them in a decent storyline. You can give them a different opponent. You can give them a different situation to be confronted with. And I think that it comes down to companies. Yeah, they can book these same guys, but start like, what can you do with them?
It's good for the talent too, like to push your boundaries a bit, to give yourself some variety of like talent to work with, different crowds to work with, everything like that, even different rings to work in and stuff like that. Like every little bit of
It's the small things that count.
Yeah.
In somewhat, like I was saying, it could be anything, a change of scenery, a change of ownership, a change of, because he was just telling me earlier that there was a couple of guys that he's heard of, but he hasn't seen, so he'd like to have the opportunity to work some of those guys, and what better than EWA?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for the first show coming up that you got in Campsie, like, what is the show looking like, I should say, sorry. Can you announce any matches, what you guys have got coming up?
Yeah. Oh, look, there are some matches advertised. So my heavyweight title is called the Elite Heavyweight Champion. So it's not the World Heavyweight. It's called the Elite Heavyweight Champion. Now nice. I've got an old friend of mine. He's the Samoan warrior, Scotty Polo. He's been around, and he's fighting. Yeah, so he's fighting a newcomer from Wollongong area, Otis.
Yeah, I know Otis. Yeah.
I've been so out of the loop, man.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to follow this. Like it's
there's some guy that I don't even know, even now, and that have approached me to.
I feel like I've heard him get mentioned.
He's a good friend of Robbie Zuko.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so he referred him.
Yep.
I gave him a call, signed him up. So it'll be Scotty Polo against Otis in a Campsie street fight.
Nice. That'll be a solid match. Otis is a really good worker. He's a really good worker.
For me to kind of start something exciting, man, I just told these guys, mate, these are both in a street fight. Go all out. Just go all out, man. Just give us something to talk about, and let's just see who the better man is.
No pressure.
Tyson, as a performer, hearing that from a promoter, just going, "Hey, man, just go all out." Like, put yourself back, like coming through in your first year or two in pro wrestling. You get told that. What's the first thing that goes through your mind?
Go all out.
Go all out, yeah. Like, but are you thinking like what crazy shit you could do, or like what would be the thing that you'd be?
When I hear that, rather than like, oh, can I do this big spot? Can I do this like big bump or something like that? I start to think like, all right, this one's going to be intense. This one's going to have like some energy, like throw your whole heart, soul, and guts into it. And like I've been out, like I said, like everyone's aware, I've been gone for a while, and just gradually, more recently, like that itch to come back is getting more and more. So like, I haven't even been told to go out all out. I haven't even been told any of this. This is the first time we've had any conversation really like this. I'm ready to go all out.
And look, in saying that, man, he's not going to come back and not want that title. You understand? So I don't really need to sit here and tell him, do what you need to do, and then he's going to go straight for it.
And let's be real, I can't come back after all this time off and like phone that in, can I? Like,
no.
So I definitely, I don't know if there's any expectation, but I want to come in over that. For sure.
But your mission is to get there.
Yeah.
You understand? So for me, when I decided to street fight, I just thought about it, right? That if these two big behemoths, like these two big massive men,
big boys, man.
Like I had a very hard time deciding who was going to wrestle for the Elite Heavyweight title. When I came up with these two, I'm like, you know what? If anything's going to happen, it's going to happen during that match.
Yeah.
And if any of you want that title, you're going to have to beat the other man for it.
There you go. Plain as day.
I mean, beat his ass. Like it's, you know, sorry, man,
So-
but I'm old school, mate. You want it, you gotta go for it.
That's it. Throw it all out. But look, one of the things I wanted to ask as well: are you going to be streaming this anywhere? Is it going to be on like Fight, IWTV? Has there any been talks about that?
There's been talks, but I can't confirm anything at the moment, because nothing's set in stone just yet. So you know, I'm gonna have to kind of decline that answer, that question, just
That's
for
fine.
now. Yeah. So
All good. We got a question from Kyle Ead, who's a longtime viewer of the show. He says, any plans to bring in internationals to EWA in the future?
you know, instead of bringing internationals, I want the world to bring my elite wrestlers to them. You understand? I want them to say, we want to bring internationals to us. So, you know, I've got well-known wrestlers. I want to build wrestlers. I want, you know, and I want the world to come and call me and tell me, listen, I want to book Tyson Gibbs.
That's awesome. Are you going to establish a school as well? Is like a training facility?
Yeah. That's sorry to cut you off. Yeah, but that is in the plan. That's the plan. We do want to build a school where everybody can come along and you know, train under the EWA banner. I do want to try to see if I can get some of these boys, you know, because
Keen straight away.
if these guys can train the next crop of young guys, can you imagine? You know,
It'd be amazing talent coming through, and I think that
it's a no-brainer.
I think especially now there's such a lot of young talent coming through. Like, you know, we were talking about it before. I think like especially like this generation of young people coming through, there's a passion for wrestling. You're seeing it at a majority of shows. Are getting a lot of people there, you know, enthusiastic, loud fans, but also the next generation of, you know, workers being in the audience, seeing that and getting that, you know, ignition lit as well.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely, man. Most definitely.
But you know, what's is going to be the main, you know, catalyst for the show? Obviously, the heavyweight, the elite championship. Mm-hmm. Are you going to be introducing other championships into the business, or are you going to start with just the one title for now?
I'm still deciding. Like, I do have a tag team belts, but my belts aren't called tag team champions. My belts are called the Double Impact Tag Team Champions.
That's pretty cool.
I kind of, you know, took the movie Double Impact.
Yeah.
You know, that's the first thing.
Only identical twins are able to compete for that one.
That's it. But yeah, it's a Double Impact Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
You know, I will be introducing those. Now, I'm still deciding if I'm gonna broadcast that onto the next show. And I've also got if you just saw a message there from Big Bad Boma.
Yeah, I'll put it back up.
Now, Big Bad Boma, he used to be my manager for so many years. Now, he has a mystery wrestler that he's bringing in. I don't even know who it is. So he just told me, look,
it's a game on you.
It is. But that's what I'm all about. I'm all about risks. I'm all about, you know, new stuff. I don't care, man. If it works, it works. Yeah. You know, if it doesn't, people still going to talk about me.
Absolutely,
you know?
man.
And that's how I see it, man. So the Big Bad Boma, mate, he's one of the nastiest managers that I've ever seen, because he's kind of helped me.
He taught you everything you learned, right?
Pretty much so, man. Yeah. Pretty much. So he's got a mystery wrestler that he's bringing in, and he's offering $5,000 in cash if anybody can take up that challenge, and if they can last 5 minutes, not beat him, last 5 minutes with his mystery opponent gets the $5,000 in cash. And I'll be sure that the person that takes up the offer receives the cash.
I think
Because I don't
Tyson
want
Gibbs looks like he
cash
wants to be about $5,000 richer.
You
in
see
the
that on my
background.
face?
I said that was all over your face. I saw the dollar
dollars
signs.
in Aussie wrestling. Come
Yeah,
on, let's go.
yeah. Look, you know, it's an open offer to anybody that wants to take up that challenge. Hit me up.
There you go.
Hit me
But
up.
Oh,
guys,
it's a proper open challenge.
Yeah,
right?
mate. Yeah.
well, there you
it's
go.
an
All you have to
open
do is
challenge.
last 5 minutes. There you go.
That's it.
You know.
It's I think it's Macho Man. You know, the Buzzsaw, the Spider
Yeah,
Man.
exactly.
Yeah, the Bonesaw. That's the one.
It's
All right.
3 minutes, brother.
That's the
But this is 5.
Oh, this is
5
5.
for 5. Yeah, 5 minutes for 5. Yeah.
That's it.
But,
So, like, it is now time for 60 seconds with Piers, guys. We are going to start the clock and ask Osama questions for 60 seconds. He's going to answer as many as he can within 60 seconds. When you're ready, Osama, you let me know, and we will start the clock.
yeah, let's go.
What is your most embarrassing story from school?
Shit. Pooping my pants.
Favorite song to sing at karaoke?
Backstreet Boys. I want it that way.
MasterChef or My Kitchen Rules?
MasterChef.
Plain fairy bread or fairy bread with Nutella?
Ooh, fairy bread.
Yeah.
If you were given $1 million to start a business, what business would it be, excluding professional wrestling?
That's a tough one, man. Food truck. Yeah. Food.
Pool or snooker?
Pool. Yeah. I don't have a sneaker.
Snooker, I keep forgetting the order of the balls.
Snapchat or TikTok?
Oh, do you have to pick one?
I'm a TikToker.
You gotta pick one. You gotta pick.
TikTok.
In 5 minutes' time, you're being shipped out of space. What 2 personal belongings do you take with you, excluding human beings?
My cell phone. See if they've got.
Oh, yeah, it's going to work in outer space.
Yeah,
All
Wi-Fi.
I would take a jacket. I hear it's cold in space.
Okay. Jacket on and
warm outfit in
Yeah.
general would be.
Yeah, it makes sense. But it makes sense. Yeah, I'd say charger, but that has been 60 seconds with Piers with Osama Hussein. Osama, thank you for being on the show. Tyson, thank you for being an impromptu guest on the episode. We'll have to get you on for a one-on-one sometime soon. But Osama, where can everyone, follow Elite Wrestling Australia, follow yourself, and show some support and get tickets for the show?
Yeah. Okay. So, first of all, I want to give you 50 free tickets to any 50 first free callers or anyone that messages you. You can give them free tickets.
Okay.
That's from me to you for having me on the show. Okay. So that's 50 free tickets. And also, the show is on Saturday, February 19th. 7 p.m. show starts at the Orion Function Center, 155 Beamer Street in Campsie. They can follow us on Facebook, EWA Australia, so Elite Wrestling Australia. I'll send you the link.
Sure,
you can, if you like to post that as well. My personal account is Sam Etter, SAMETER.
And Elite Wrestling Australia is also on Instagram, guys, as well, under Elite Wrestling Australia. Go and hit that follow button there. As Osama just said, he's given us 50 free tickets to play with here. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to send 50 people over, hit that follow button to Elite Wrestling Australia. Give those guys a follow. What I want you to do, once you've followed them over on Instagram, I want you to go follow me, The Piers Austin, on Instagram. Hit follow there. Then I want you to send me a DM, a screenshot of both following Elite Wrestling Australia and following me, and you are in to get a free ticket. Maybe 2 free tickets to a person who does. I don't know.
If somebody hits you up for 50, just give it to them.
Please you carry it to me.
There you go. Hit me up for tickets and let me know how many you want. But Osama, thank you very much for being
Thank
on
you.
the show.
Appreciate it.
And again, Tyson, thank you for joining us. But guys, do me a favor, go and check out our sponsors, healthvape.com and sleeps.com. Use promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount on your final purchase. Guys, also, wherever you're finding us, wherever you're listening to us, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, leave a comment. Keep it positive. If you want to put something negative, you can. I'll probably tell you to go fuck yourself and we'll move on from there. But guys, whatever it is, make sure you take care of yourself and we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care. All the best. And we'll see you next Thursday. Bye.